about family Caparidaceae, or this family is also called as a Caparaceae. Family includes 13 genera and about 450 species. Just see some of the genus and species present in this family. This is the first one figure, Gynandropsis pentaphylla, a common weed. Vernacular name is hulhul. In Marathi, it is called as a hulhul. Plants are annual, grow in rainy season. Plants are herbaceous one. Leaves, roots, and stem has several medicinal properties. So this is a habit of the plant. Just see here the type of inflorescence. Older flowers are present at the base, younger one present towards the apex. Just see the nature of the flower which are present here. Calyx, corolla, then these are the stamens. Okay, and this one is a gynosium whole, or this one is the whole of a gynosium, completely presence of condition of a gynophore. Again, just see the number of petals here. These are the buds which are present here. So completely racemose type of inflorescence is present here. This one figure again shows the presence of racemose type of inflorescence. So this one is a Gynandropsis pentaphylla. Just see the second one figure, Clieum spinosa, strongly scented herb and usually grown as a ornamental plant. Just see again the habit of the plant. Just see the leaves which are present here, completely reticulate kind of venation is present, and nature of leaf. Just see the inflorescence, older flowers, younger flowers, then color of the petal, see a totally pinkish color, as well as long filaments of the stamens are also present here. So this one is a Clieum spinosa. Again, one more species, Caparis spinosa. Flower buds are used as a condiment, and root bark is used in a rheumatic pains. Just see the habit of the plant. This one habit. You can observe these are the fruits which are present here. Just see the nature of the flowers, and this one completely presence of a condition gynophore. Okay, long filaments are present, and this one actually gynophore. This one is the gynophore, and this one is a carpel, actually part of a ovary within a carpel. Then next one is a Caparis grandis. Caparis grandis. So the nature of the leaves, inflorescence, then this one part completely carpel, long filaments present in the stamens. This one is a branch or twig showing phyllotaxy. Next one plant here, Caparis sepiaria, branched, leafy, climbing shrub with recurved spines. Plants are planted as a hedge plant and used medicinally in skin diseases. So just see the habit of the plant, nature of leaves, type of a inflorescence which is present here, Then this one is again one of the twig showing completely the nature of the flowers and leaves, and this one nature of flower. See the condition gynophore is present here. Okay, this is a gynophore condition. Stamens arises at this point, and this one is a carpel, and this one is a internode, showing the condition gynophore. Then Capparis xylanica, synonym is a Capparis horrida. Gitorum is a vernacular name. Thorny shrub, used as a hedge plant. Seeds, fruits are edible and used as a vegetable. Just see here, these are the spines which are present here. Then nature of leaves. Actually, these spines are present at the place of a below the leaf, just like a stipular one. Then see the margin of the leaves, venation, type of a inflorescence. See the nature of calyx. This one will be the calyx. Then corolla, pinkish colored filaments present, and you can observe this is the part of a carpel one. So this is a Capparis xylanica. One more plant, Clivum viscosa. This one is a Clivum viscosa. Hurur, rainy season herb, sticky shoot, yellowish colored flower, seed used in curries, and leaves as well as seeds are used medicinally, and stimulant and carminative nature of the seed. This is the habit, nature of the leaves, then type of inflorescence. Again, this is a legume or follicle kind of a fruit will be present here, and nature of the flower. This one again, just see the nature of the flower, Clivum viscosa. One more plant, Clivum ecosandra, or new name is a Erivella viscosa. Just see the nature of the plant. One more figure here, completely pubescent stem is observed here, and this one is a flower. Capparis aphylla, one more figure was there. Okay, not placed here. Okay, so these are the some genera and species from family Capparidaceae. Before going in detail about the family, just see some of the figures again. About the habit, this is a herbaceous habit, shrub habit, tree habit. In herbaceous habit, stem nature is a herbaceous one. Okay. Tree habit, stem nature is a woody one, while in shrub habit, it is a in between herb and tree. And one more thing, that if you see the stem, then from the ground surface, number of such a type of a shoots, if present, then it is considered as a shrub nature. Then this one is a phyllotaxy present in the plants. This is an alternate phyllotaxy, opposite phyllotaxy, opposite superpose, and this one is a opposite decussate. You can observe such a type of a leaves are present here. Each leaf pair of leaf is perpendicular to the next pair of leaf. Then this one is a ternate, and this one is a whole. This ternate is generally considered as a whole kind of a phyllotaxy. Here leaves are alternately present. Here leaves are present completely opposite to each other. This is a case of superpose, while this one case is a opposite decussate. Leaves are completely opposite one, but they are arranged at 90 degree in the next pair. If more than two leaves are present at the nodal region, then it is called as a whole kind of a phyllotaxy. Then these are the some figures representing the inflorescence of racemose type. This is a raceme type of inflorescence. Such a type of a flowering pattern will be present here. Older flowers are present towards the base, younger to the apex. So this one is a acropetal type of a succession. Flowers may be bracteate one. So this is a raceme. If simple raceme type of a inflorescence present on branches, then this one is called as a panicle type of inflorescence or compound raceme type. This one is a spike type of inflorescence. Raceme and spike are similar, only the difference is here pedicel is present, here pedicel is absent. So flowers are sessile one in case of a spike type of inflorescence. This is a catkin type of inflorescence. Catkin type of inflorescence is actually the spike type of inflorescence, but again one more difference that the flowers are unisexual one, and again one more difference that this peduncle is so weak that it do not bear the weight of flower, and therefore it usually observe as a hanging condition or pendulum condition. So catkin or amentum type of inflorescence, most primitive type of inflorescence. This is a spadix type of inflorescence. Here peduncle is somewhat fleshy. Flowers are unisexual one. Usually male flowers are present towards the apex, female towards the base, and in between male and female some sterile flowers are also present, and this entire inflorescence is surrounded by means of fleshy bract, which is called as a spathe. So this is a spadix type of inflorescence. This one is a umbel kind of inflorescence. In case of umbel type of inflorescence, peduncle is somewhat shortened, and flowers are present centripetally. So such a type of a arrangement of a flower is present, then this one is called as a umbel type of inflorescence. In case of umbel, again one more thing, the length of pedicel is almost equal, and flowers are pedicellate one. Due to the equal length of the pedicel, it gives somewhat umbrella like structure, and therefore it is called as a umbel type of a inflorescence. Here involucral bracts are also present. So this is a umbel type of inflorescence. This one is a compound umbel type of inflorescence. Simple umbel type of inflorescence is present in a branches. Then such a type of inflorescence is called as a umbel type of inflorescence. These are involucral bracts, while these are involucral type of bracts. This is a corium type of inflorescence. One can find either umbel type of inflorescence or corium type of inflorescence in family Caparidaceae. So first one flower, second flower, third flower, fourth flower, fifth one, sixth, seventh one. So completely acropetal type of succession is present. Flowers are bracteate, then pedicellate one, but older flowers have much longer pedicel than the younger one, and all flowers are brought to equal level. Then inflorescence is called as a corium type. This is a head type of inflorescence. In case of head type of inflorescence, this one is a peduncle, a somewhat globular or globose type of a peduncle is present, and on this globular peduncle, sessile flowers, if present, then it is called as a head or globose head or capitate type of a inflorescence. This one is a capitulum type of inflorescence, characteristic one, that this flower has a peduncle is present in the form of a receptacle one. So flattened peduncle is present, then involucral bracts are present, and two types of florets are present. Ray florets are present towards periphery, and disc florets are present towards the center. Then next one figure showing the insertion of floral holes on thalamus. This is a hypogynous one. Here superior ovary is present. Then this one is a epigynous one. Here ovary is a inferior. Here floral holes, calyx, corolla, androecium are attached to the thalamus but below the ovary. Okay, so ovary becomes superior, hypogynous type. Here ovary is inferior, calyx, corolla, androecium attached to the thalamus but above the ovary. Therefore it is called as a epigynous type of a flower. And in case of perigynous type of flower, this one figure, so half of the part of ovary is sunken into the cavity of thalamus, while half part is present above the thalamus. And all the floral holes, calyx, corolla, androecium, they are present at an equal level. So this one is a perigynous, and this ovary is usually considered as a semi-inferior, or generally considered as a inferior type of ovary. One more figure here about the flower. Flowers may be either bisexual one. What is bisexual flower? If androecium and gynoecium hole if present in a single flower, then that flower is called as a bisexual flower. Then unisexual flower. In case of unisexual flower, there are two categories. Either the flower may be the staminate flower, or it is also called as a male flower, or it may be pistillate or carpellate type of flower. That means it is a female flower. In staminate flower, the whole of gynoecium may be absent or it may be sterile one, while in case of pistillate flower or carpellate flower, whole of androecium usually absent, or if present, then it is a sterile one. So this one is a unisexual one, and this one is a bisexual one. And based on this, the plants may be considered as a monoecious plant, dioecious plant, or maybe here polygamous type of a plant. Okay, what is monoecious plant? In case of monoecious plant, the flowers are unisexual. Okay, and if male and female flower are present on one and the same plant, then the plant is called as a monoecious one. In case of dioecious kind of a plant, the flowers bearing male flower is a separate one, as well as a female flower bearing plant is a separate one. So here the case male plant is completely isolated and female plant is completely isolated, as you observe in case of family Cucurbitaceae. Monoecious case can be observed in case of maize plant. Okay, and what is polygamous plant? In case of polygamous plant, one can observe the presence of male flower, one can observe presence of female flower also, as well as presence of bisexual flowers also. So this is the case where which is called as a polygamous type of a condition. Then these are the certain figures showing the placentation. This one is a marginal placentation. The suture, this one actually figure is somewhat wrong. This one figure will look in this way. If you see here, this one becomes the dorsal suture, okay, and this one becomes the ventral suture, and from ventral suture such a type of a placenta gives rise to the ovule. Then this one is called as a marginal type of a placentation. Here this one becomes the ventral suture and this one becomes the dorsal suture, but dorsal suture is usually observed such a type of a case, a leaf-like structure. This one becomes the ventral suture, and midrib where the two margins are folded, these margins are actually the ventral suture. Okay, this one is a axial type of a placentation. Here carpels are fused at the axillary position, and the placenta are originated from the center or axis of the united carpels. Then it is called as a axial type of a placentation. Parietal type of placentation, you will observe the parietal type of placentation in family Caparidaceae. Actually, the parietal placentation, the ovules are arise from the peripheral part of the united carpels. Okay, so such a type of a condition here actually it must be united. Okay, so this is a parietal type of a placentation. This is a free central type of placentation. Free central and axial type of placentations are same, only the difference is the central axis is lost in a free central type of placentation, and this one is a basal type of a placentation. This is a ovule which arises from the base of the ovary, so this one is a basal type of a placentation. Then certain again figures are present here about the fruit. Here in case of family Caparidaceae, you can observe berry type of fruit, drupe type of fruit, as well as capsule type of a fruit. Not only this, nut type of fruits are also present in family Caparidaceae. So berry type of fruits are simple fleshy type of fruits, multi-seeded fruit. Here the epicarp, mesocarp and endocarp all are edible. Not only the pericarp part is edible, but the seeds also edible one. Then drupe type of fruit. In case of drupe type of fruit, pericarp is differentiated into epicarp, mesocarp and endocarp. The nature of endocarp is usually hard and stony, and usually drupe type of fruits are single seeded. This one is a pepo type of fruit. Pepo is a subtype of berry kind of a fruit. Here parietal type of a placentation is present, all parts are edible one. Hesperidium is again a type of a berry type of a fruit. Here the epicarp forms the outermost skin, mesocarp forms the inner skin, and endocarp usually produces the placental sacs in which juice is usually present. So this is a Hesperidium type of fruit. This one is a pome type of fruit. Pome, actually here if you see, in pome type of fruit, cartilaginous cavity is observed in the central portion. That cartilaginous cavity is actually the pericarp, and it encloses the seed, but the upper one edible portion is formed by means of a thalamus one. So this is a pome type of fruit, and this one is a balusta, which is observed in a pomegranate fruit. Then these are the capsule type of fruit. Actually, what is the capsule type of fruit? Capsules are simple, then dry and dehiscent type of fruits. Okay, multi-seeded fruits are usually capsular fruits. In simple dry dehiscent, one can observe legume type of fruit, then follicle type of fruit, and remaining one are capsular fruit. In legume type of fruit, simple, dry, dehiscent, and here dehiscence occurs along both the suture. In follicle type of fruit, simple, dry, dehiscent, but dehiscence of the fruit occurs along one suture, while rest of the dehiscent fruits will be the capsular type of the fruit. Here one can observe septicidal type of fruit. You can observe this type of fruit in Ricinus, okay, or in a yucca. Here dehiscence of the fruit occurs along the septa. Okay, in loculicidal type of fruit, this loculicidal type of fruit can be observed in a iris, or can be observed in a cotton fruit. Here the dehiscence of the fruit occurs along the longitudinal lines present on the pericarp. Okay, then this one is a circumscissile. Here the upper part fit on a lower part, just like a cap or just like a lead one. Portulaca is the best example. Then this one is a puricidal type of a capsule. In puricidal type of a capsule, which is observed in a opium poppy or Papaver somniferum, here minute pores are present on the upper side, and through these pores minute sized fruits, minute sized seeds can be dispersed. So this one is a porous type of a capsule. Here capsular type of fruits are also observed. Just see some more figures representing the family Caparidaceae. Just see, this one is a Caparis spinosa. Just see the nature of leaves, then the flower, presence of condition of a gynophore, number of a petals, nature of the stamen, and this one is a curved embryo present here. This one is a floral diagram type of a fruit one. Okay, then this one is again Clivum vesicosa. Just see the nature of the plant, twig one, the nature of the fruit, dissected flower, the condition of gynophore. D is representing the dithecous or bithecous type of a stamen one. Then this one is a floral formula. This is a parietal placentation, and this one is a seed. Then one more figure is a Caparis cut flower. The Caparis Caparis spinosa again. These are the leaves, then the flower, stamen, embryo, coiled one, the fruit of a Caparis, then condition which is called as a gynophore is when the carpel, fruit, then the floral diagram, and the seed cut vertically. So these are the certain figures which show certain characters of family Caparidaceae. Just say about the Caparidaceae family, the distribution is a tropical to subtropical and subtropical region, widespread one. Habit in Caparis, you can observe the family, the habit as a shrub. Rarely, trees are also present, as well as some members of climbers are also present here. Then just see the leaves. Leaves are alternate one. This one figure here, alternate, rarely opposite. Leaves are usually simple type. Stipules are present. In majority of the cases, stipules are modified into spines or thorns. Sometimes leaves reduce to glands or maybe the spines. In Caparis, Aphylla or Decidia, spines are present. Inflorescence is a racemose one. In a racemose, corymb type of inflorescence is present. In a creativa, or they may be present in a umbel type of umbel type, or this one is a umbel type of inflorescence, while this one is a corymb type of a inflorescence. Flowers are usually bracteate. Bracts are often leafy. Flower may be actinomorphic or zygomorphic. Actinomorphic means irregular flower, where flower can be divided into two half. In case of zygomorphic, either single vertical plane will be available, then it is called as a zygomorphic. Zygomorphic and asymmetric, one more category is present in about the actinomorphic, zygomorphic, and about the symmetry of the flower. Okay, in zygomorphic and asymmetric type of a symmetry, there is nothing any plane where the flower can divide in two equal part. Okay, so flower may be actinomorphic or zygomorphic. Zygomorphic means irregular type of flower. Flowers are usually bisexual. Rarely unisexual condition is also observed, and again polygamous one. Unisexual as well as bisexual flowers if present on a single plant, then it will be called as a polygamous condition. Hypogynous type of flowers are present. Superior ovary will be present. Thalamus usually or often prolonged into androgynophore or gynandrophore. Gynandrophore, that means an internode present between androecium to gynoecium, which is called as a gynophore condition. And if internode is present between corolla to androecium, then this condition is called as a androphore. Okay, and if androphore and gynophore both are present togetherly, then it is called as a gynandrophore or androgynophore condition. Just say about the whorl of a calyx. Usually 4 sepals are present, but rarely 2 to 8 sepals are also present. Polysepalous condition or maybe gamosepalous condition in Muria plant. In 2 holes, sometimes they are present in a single hole, but in majority of the cases they are present in a single hole. Just say about the corolla. Corolla, the number of petals are again 4, and if 4 petals are present, then these 4 petals are present in a cross. Each petal will be present perpendicular to each other, then it is called as a cruciform type of corolla. Cruciform is a regular and polypetalous type of corolla. Okay, rarely 8 or even lacking petals are present, and petals are clawed petal. Okay, what is clawed petal? If a single petal, then this one is a single petal. This one part is called as a limb, and this one is called as a claw in a polypetalous condition. What is limb? Limb is the expanded portion of the petal, while claw is just a stalk of a petal. So clawed petal, that means such a type of a claw if present in a petal, then it is called as a clawed petal. In certain condition you can observe such a type of petal. This one is called as a clawless petal. This one total part is will be the part of a limb. Here such a type of a claw or stalk is absent. Just say about the gynoecium, androcium, 4 or more stamens. Okay, usually polyandrous condition, often arising from androphore. Okay, and what is androphore? The internode present between corolla to androcium, then it is called as a androphore. Lower portion of a androgynophore. Okay, dehiscence longitudinal one. Nectaries are often present near the base of a stamen. Then just say about the carpel, gynoecium, 2 to 12 carpels are present, and these carpels are united, that means syncarpous condition is present. Even though number of carpels are present, the ovary is a unilocular, and it may contains 1 to many ovules in a parietal type of a placentation. Ovary is a superior one, often on a gynophore. Internode present between androcium to gynoecium is called as a gynophore condition. Style single, stigma capitate, or maybe bilobed one. So we see here the bracteate flower, either regular or irregular, K usually 4, C usually 4, A number is a maximum one. If you see here 4 or more numbers, and G 2 to 12. Okay, and they are syncarpous, superior ovary, and parietal type of a placentation is present here. Here 4 to, again number may vary, C4 to, again number may vary. Then just say about the fruit, berry type of fruit, simple fleshy fruit, multi-seeded fruit. Capsule, simple dry dehiscent type of fruit. Then this one is called as a capsular fruit, multi-seeded fruit. Drupe, simple fleshy fruit. Pericarp differentiated into epicarp, mesocarp, and endocarp. Epicarp generally from the skin. Mesocarp may be fibrous or a succulent one, but endocarp is usually hard and stony, or it may be nut type of fruit. Here simple dry indehiscent type of fruit. Here this fruit consists a hard and stony pericarp. You can observe such type of fruit in either cashew nut or in almond also. So this one is a nut type of fruit, often stalked one. As gynophore condition is present, so it will oftenly show stalk. Seed 1 to many, embryo curve, and endosperm usually absent one. This is the silent characters. About habit, shrub or tree. Sepals and petals 4, free. Stamens many. Ovary unilocular, parietal placentation, superior one, and sometimes with gynophore. Fruit, capsule or berry type. This is the systematic position proposed by Bentham and Hooker. Kingdom Phanerogam, flowering plants. Class Dicotyledon, 2 cotyledons present. Reticulate venation, branched stem, flower tetramerous to tetramerous or pentamerous. Subclass Polypetalae, both calyx and corolla present, and petals free. Series is a thalamiflory, flowers usually hypogynous. Sepals free from the ovary. Disc absent. In Discipluary, disc will be present. Stamens present on thalamus. Order parietal, name itself indicates the parietal type of a placentation, and syncarpous condition will be present. And family, Caparidaceae, shrubs or tree, sepals and petals 4 each, free. Stamens many, ovary unilocular with the parietal placentation with gynophore, and fruit usually berry type of fruit. So this one is a very simple type of a ovary. In the next video we will again deal with the next one family. Till then, goodbye.